Welcome back. Today on the bench, I've got a Nexus S1. This is the next generation 4-chip Bitcoin miner using Bitmain's latest BM 1373 chips. We're going to double check that. And I wanted to take it apart with you today. Look at the quality of components, give you my thought process on it, my thoughts, my concerns, and go from there. So first things off the rip, it uses a imitation LilyGo display. I can see that. I guess since you should be able to see that. Let me just flip over here so I can see the microscope. We've got an imitation. LilyGo brands all of theirs here. So this is a knockoff version of the LilyGo display. So we're going to take that off. And what do we see here? Okay, let me turn this down a little bit. It's a little reflective. All right, we've got LAN connector. So customers who want to do hardwire now have the capability of doing that. We have, let's see here, got my pen or my tweezers. We've got multiple fan headers, one of them being for water pump according to them. So we got M1, M2, and a water pump header. It appears that we have a legitimate Thermalright copper heatsink with spacers. However, this backplane is not Thermalright, so that's kind of interesting. Let's take it apart. So, Blockstreet Boys is pretty new to the scene, from what I've gathered. I've seen them a lot, advertise a lot on Facebook, Twitter, and I believe Blockstreet Boys actually doesn't manufacture these. These are built by a company in China. I'm not going to name the guy who runs it, or who I believe runs it, because it's kind of a jerk, to be honest with you. Wow, okay. Appears to be a legitimate Thermalright cooler. That's good. That's a good thing. We'll set that over to the side. Also has a rear fan that's on that stand that comes with it. And look at the size of these chips. Wow. So, I'm going to put you on pull you up on the big one. The microscope camera here. So we got a BM 1373AA. That's what we've got. That's what we're working with here. Man, these are big. This is a brand new miner. I've had it for about a month, testing it. And look at that. First time I've had the heatsink off this device. That, my friends, is a cracked chip right off the rip. You can see it as I change the light reflection. You see it, the light kind of sucks to the line and then slowly jumps over. That's a cracked chip. That's not good. Brand new miner, month old. Let's see the other ones. I don't know what this thermal paste is, this blue thermal paste is that they're using, so I can't speak to the type of thermal paste. We like Arctic MX7, a personal preference based on thermal testing that we've done. Now we don't have any miners currently for the 1373. So we have not done any thermal performance testing, stuff to that nature yet. We got this miner in because, you know, we wanted to kind of see what was coming to market. We obviously pay close attention to the things that are coming to market. See if we have any other crack ones. Well, lots of scratches, which is pretty normal, unfortunately. But I don't see any other cracks. Well, that's interesting. 1 month old, first time taking that heatsink off. And the chip is cracked. Now let's compare the size here. Wow, that still surprises me. Well, I don't know why though, but it looks like we've got another crack there. Hard to say for certain, but it looks like this chip is cracked right about where my fingernail is. Typically, cracks are straight lines. Okay, so you see here, we see a lot of cracked ASIC chips, 1370s, things like that. People putting their heat sinks on too tight, uneven, and these chips will crack. Well, there we go. That one's cracked. That's a nice. You see, it's a nice straight line. This is the just for people's knowledge. This is the full package ASIC. This is a packaging material. This is the silicon. And within the packaging material, we have connections between the silicon and each pin location. Okay, that's how that works. The silicon is where all your transistors, all the magic happens, is within that silicon. So cracking them is not good. Sometimes they'll work. I literally just unplugged this miner from my shelf of miners over here. And sometimes they don't. They're gone. It's a high likelihood that when I put the heatsink back on this, that this will not mine on chip 3 anymore. And that looks like a crack right there. Nice straight line. Okay, well, that's good to know. All right, we got 4 coils feeding these. I've got nothing mounting that heatsink for what I'm assuming is CSDs, but we're going to find out here in a second. Oh, they glued them. That's cute. I always love when they do that. I always love when they just glue them down, not think about the people that are going to be working on them. Okay. Let's see if we can't. Yep, there we go. Yep, that's what I thought we did here. We have 4 CSDs. I wonder if these are counterfeit CSDs like we've seen in the past. We'll do a quick comparison of the size, just the strict size and the font, which is going to be hard to do here because the silicon makes the silicon adhesive that they're using here makes it stand out pretty good. Oh, that's not the one I wanted here. Let me grab a new CSD and we can look at it and compare the font. I took off my really tight microscope lens so that we could easily see this together. I'm a little surprised at this additional dot. I don't know. I need to clean this up some more and see. These are definitely Texas Instruments, and they're they're going to be the same CSDs that we see on the pluses. So if you have a Nexus with the dead short blowing fuses, let me know. Once they're out of warranty, I'll be happy to fix it for you. Just reach out. Yep, 9472MC. It says TI on it. I'm a little suspect of that dot in the front, which kind of... Texas Instruments is pretty consistent in their labeling practices. Anyways, we'll move on. So we've got 4 CSDs. So they've taken this device and they've split that load up on a 4-chip device over to 4 CSDs. Got our controller chip. Got all of our input and output snubbers, caps, and coils exactly as I would expect. This is going to be our communications, our voltage regulators to step down voltage. Where's our fan controllers? They're going to probably be using, what's going to be our fan control here? Here. We're doing fan control here. We still got a TVS diode here. So TVS diode failures occur when voltage gets over a certain predetermined voltage. Sure, each TVS diode is rated for a certain voltage, maximum voltage. So if you were to add, let's say, plug in a 24-volt power supply to this, it would pop that TVS diode and try and protect everything downstream. Okay. Lots of other components on here. Crystal. More snubbers. That's about it. Yeah. So essentially what we've got here is a fourth phase added to a plus with LAN on it. That's what I'm seeing. Now this device is closed source. Last I checked, the hardware is closed source, and the firmware, which is a direct copy of ESP Miner from Nerd Miner, and I mean, we can actually take a quick look at the display. I'll let you be the judge. Looks pretty familiar, doesn't it? Yep. They took nerd mining software, the Nerd Miner, for the cute Nerd QX, and they modified it and closed sourced it. So let's see how much this, how thick this board is. I think we covered it in another video. I've got my micrometer here, or my caliper, I should say. Board thickness is going to be, well, let's calibrate. Okay. .69. Reminds me of that Rev 6, that AliExpress Rev 6 we did. Again, CE, FCC, UKCA. Interesting. I would love to see the CE certification for this device. I don't know if there one is actually does truly exist or not. Eventually, that's going to catch up to these guys as they, for the ones that are lying about it. Yeah, so they basically have taken a plus. They've added 4 1373 chips on it, albeit didn't do a really good job with it because, as you can see, again, cracked. Gotta love that. And yeah, got their hands on a bunch of 1373 chips from Bitmain. I talked about, let's take a look in comparison. So this is a current 1370. This is a BM 1370 PA chip. So in scope of size, dimensionally, how much different in size these are, that's dramatic. I mean, it's a big difference. And the miner, according to their firmware, you know, at stock settings, I think it mines around, you know, 10 to 12 terahash, which is great. It's great. I don't know how much I trust it necessarily, with it being, you know, so new, and the firmware updates, and their latest firmware update had a, you know, wattage draw change, and I don't know. But seeing what I see here, I mean, if you got a broken one, let me know. We'll be happy to fix it for you. You know, I definitely know the part number for these parts, and these, again, it's closed source, so if you lose anything else on here, control chip's going to be the same, fan control is going to be the same. This communication chip, I'd have to look and see. I don't know what's going on here with this. This is our chip that controls our LAN. So, yeah, lots going on. Another diode up here. Yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting device. I'm happy to see that they're using a quality heatsink. That's good. But I'm not really thrilled with the thickness of the board, and it probably explains why I already have a cracked ASIC on here. And our weight comes in at 102 grams. That's completely stripped of everything but the display. So it'll be interesting to see how the market evolves over the next couple of months. I think these guys were first to market with 1373 chips. And good for them. But it looks like, yeah, that bottom one is also cracked. Looking in the shadows here, that bottom one's got a crack in it too. That is a crack right there, all the way across. Man, what a shame. This is what happens when you rush to market. The quality's going to suffer. So buyer beware. You see what happened to us, and that is literally the first time that heat sink's ever been off. I don't have blue thermal paste, so if anybody wants to question that, this is definitely their thermal paste. So, yeah, interesting. Very interesting. Good. Like I said, though, nice cooler. Good news is our Helix shrouds will fit these, and they're definitely going to be needed with these CSDs. So our Helix shroud fits these thermal right coolers. So, you know, that's a great option for you if you want to try and keep these things cooler. We haven't played with it much as far as, you know, haven't really done any overclocking. We kind of just ran it out of the box to see how it would perform and, you know, how it does. And so I imagine as you're pushing these things, you're going to need some extra cooling. But be careful with these ones. Be careful changing heat sinks out. I can tell you right now, the board with this board thickness and these size chips, that's not going to be fun. All right, well, just wanted to share the Nexus S1 with you. Give you my overall impression, initial impressions. First time I've taken the heatsink off and really looked the board over. But well, good to know that at least for some of your repairs, we can help you out. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate your time. See ya.